poor Anne, she just doesn't seem to get a break, does she? Just about the time you think things are going wonderfully for her, then they run in and jump on Aunt Josephine and just sort of destroy the whole mood. And once again, she has to start building her bridges and hoping that things work out and trying her darndest, but she's persevering, and she'll probably do it.
Just as we persevere in asking people to send in their pledge.
Exactly, and that's what we're doing here right now, is asking for you to call in and make a pledge of support to KYVE. The numbers are on your screen. If you're in the immediate area, 457-3100. If you're outside of the direct dialing area, 1-800-345-KYVE. Call now and let us know how you feel about Anne of Green Gables. I know there's a lot of people out there that are enjoying this. Almost every time I talk to somebody when they call in with questions and such, they always mention Anne of Green Gables. And unfortunately, this is the very last time that we're going to be able to have this on for a while. Yes, yes. The rights for us to air it are up after this showing, and so we won't be able to have this particular one on for probably a long time. But we'll keep our eyes open and a lookout to see when we can get it again, and hopefully that won't be too far down the road. We have some nice thank you gifts if people call in this evening. Did you want to talk about those a little bit?
Yes, we have the Anne of Green Gables book, and this is 3 volumes in one. And we also have Tales of Avonlea. Both of these books are available. One or the other is available for the $72 level if you want to pledge.
And we also have down here, I don't know if Rick, can you get a shot of this? We have a children's size Anne of Green Gables t-shirt. That comes in children's sizes, small, medium, and large. And that is for a pledge of $48. Now we have a special this weekend. If you'd like to call in a pledge of $132, we'll give you both the books and the t-shirt. And all you need to do is call and talk to one of the nice people at the Optimist Club that are down here this evening answering the phones, and let them know that you want to pledge at that level and that you want all 3 of the Anne of Green Gables premiums, and that is a real deal.
That's a real deal.
It is. And I know you'll make some child in your family, whether it be your own child or a grandchild or a niece or nephew. Well, maybe not a nephew. They're probably not too into Anne of Green Gables, but
well, I don't know about that. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was probably a sexist remark. I'm sorry. But anyway, if you'd like those, call in and make a pledge of $132 right now, and you'll feel so much better. They can watch the rest of the show and just feel so happy with themselves, knowing that they've helped public television and KYVE in particular as a result of watching Anne of Green Gables. Speaking of Anne, we have a brief message from Megan Follows, who is the star that plays Anne so well. She would like to share some of her thoughts about public television with you right now.
Hello, I'm Megan Follows. Like many of you, I was first introduced to Anne of Green Gables through public television. In fact, until I read the script, I wasn't familiar with any of the great characters from Lucy Maud Montgomery's novels. In reading the script, I quickly found myself so taken with it, I read through every single one of the Anne of Green Gables books, cover to cover. How many times have you enjoyed great literary adaptations here and found that it inspired you to go back and read the original material? Perhaps it was the Mystery series that first introduced you to characters like Sherlock Holmes or Miss Marple. Or maybe it was great performances that got you hooked on Brideshead Revisited. Or perhaps it was seeing a classic play on American Playhouse. Or maybe it was simply the thrill you felt seeing a child discover the delightful world of Anne of Green Gables on WonderWorks. The fact is, this is a rare and precious place where great literature always comes to life. And this is your opportunity to join so it can stay that way.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling very distressed. I didn't know, Diane, that this is the last airing that we will be able to carry until the rights are renewed. And I hope that's something that happens, because Anne of Green Gables is one of those special stories that no matter how many times you see it, it just makes you feel good inside. It's kind of like watching It's a Wonderful Life at Christmas time. Anne of Green Gables transports you back to your childhood, to those wonderful stories that you read, and it's something that you can share with your children at home. It's a family type of viewing. Anne of Green Gables is not just a special that we carry during pledge fundraisers. Anne of Green Gables is part of the WonderWorks family movie series. that we carry on KYVE year after year. And although they do repeat some of the special programs, there are brand new productions constantly being integrated into the series. If this type of programming is important to you and it enhances the quality of your family viewing time, please call the number that you see on the screen, 457-3100, 1-800-345-KYVE, and make that call of support. The programming that you share with your children is so important. We're learning now that that parenting and what we provide for our children, not just in material ways, but how the things that we provide for them emotionally and in the hugs and in the information that we're putting into their little minds is so important right now. Please make that call and join the KYVE family. We've had a lot of calls tonight. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Gordon Hanson from Yakima. Thank you to Gene Schultz from Union Gap. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. James Sollers from Yakima who drove all the way down here to KYVE to make their pledge. Thank you to Rita Nichols from Yakima. Thank you, Virgil, and to Virgil's wife, Floy Ty from Yakima. Virgil's not only down here volunteering his time on a Sunday evening, but he's also making his pledge and anonymous from Yakima. There are all sorts of categories. There are only suggestions, starting with senior citizen and student category of $20, $48 individual membership. If you're a family sitting at home, consider the $72 family membership. If you pay on the installment plan monthly, that's only $11 a month. Not only does your contribution, can it be paid monthly, it is providing a continued quality programming here on KYVE. You have a selection of Anne of Green Gables gifts here that we can send to your home. It's this kind of a combination benefits. It benefits you, the viewer. It benefits the station. Won't you please make that call? The phones are quiet for the first time during Anne. Diane, do you think maybe you and George have some wonderful words of wisdom to fire people up and get them to the telephone?
I think all my words are very full of wisdom, but we would like to hear from you this evening. You know, I was thinking a little bit earlier when Megan Follows was talking about the different programs that are available through PBS and KYVE. People probably think that because I work here, that's why I am so pro-public television and KYVE, but that's not true. When I first started watching public television was like in 1970. My son, who will be 21 soon, was just a small child, and I was watching War and Peace. I don't know if you remember that, but they did a wonderful production of War and Peace, and there was this huge thunderstorm, and I was so engrossed in that show, and there was a loss of power. And right in the middle of one of the main segments of War and Peace, and I remember being just totally distraught because I'd lost that segment of War and Peace, and the power was off for the rest of the evening, so I didn't get to see it, and until much later when they repeated it. But what are some of the things that you find valuable about public television, George?
I started watching public television with Sesame Street. I think a number of people began their younger years doing that. That kind of dates how old I am. But also, it's a wonderful place to come for family and for children's entertainment. Goodness knows we need more good entertainment for our young people. Things that offer positive images and hope for folks. And that's one thing about Anne of Green Gables. I mean, it's a wonderful story, and I think you can be a boy or a girl, either one. And I think you're going to enjoy the messages that come forward from Anne of Green Gables in terms of just the spirit of the person and young people being able to problem solve and be creative in their lives and to bring fullness to other people's lives, such as the people that Anne is with.
And talk about an excellent cast. I mean, they couldn't have brought together a group of more wonderful people to portray the characters that we're seeing in Anne. And I've seen this probably, 4 times all the way through. And every time I watch it, I see something new or I feel a different emotion. And I think that's what is so powerful about this particular program, as is with most programs that KYVE offers. There's different types of programs, but they all have a message, and I feel are all pretty important. We need to get back to the show now so that we don't miss any, and we'll be back in a while, and if you want to call in, we'll still be here in the studio, and we'll see you in a bit.